Boom! I am President Chad, and welcome to Bustinet on the United Hour. We have a special guest in the house today, the man Andre Harold Baptiste. How are you this morning, my friend?
Not as good as you, not as good as you, President Chad. You look really optimistic, happy ahead of the season. So good to see.
I don't understand that. You have a man in Jesus scoring a bucket of goals for Arsenal, man. All you're supposed to be ready to roll. But talking about that, what you feel about Arsenal? Let's jump straight into it. Arsenal transfer business so far as Arsenal supporter.
Well, as an Arsenal supporter, you'll be happy that somebody transfer made. He identified Jesus. I think also Shevchenko as well. I'm not all that in favor of some of the others. Vera, they say promise a lot. Marquinhos may get some games, or maybe I don't know how he'll be used. The goalkeeper Matt Turner, I'm not very confident. I don't know much about him. Obviously, so I'm American, as the case may be. I don't really appreciate America so much for their style of football in particular. But I was really hoping that we would get the Belgium Tillman. I would like him on the side to add some variety in the midfield. And also, I felt defensively, the fact that Saliba is not going to be used is good news. But if he was to get injured, I question what will happen, certainly. So I would have liked an investment made at that end. Otherwise, it looks good. But as you know, Chad, preseason is not season. So until Arsenal take the field and until Jesus starts to score goals, we know how he plays. He's a good all-round player. But one of the reasons why I'm certain he's not at Manchester City is because they don't believe he can score the number of goals that he should. Otherwise, he would be there, not Haaland. So on that basis, I hope we can prove Pep wrong and that Jesus can deliver. And certainly it's an upgrade in terms of the strike force that we would have had last year, although I am one of those that believe that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang was and still is a good striker, but somehow or the other, he and Arteta just couldn't see eye to eye. Lacazette, on the other hand, I felt has been a disappointment from the time he arrived under Wenger. He never really proved to be very good. He could hold up the ball good, Chad, but that's not what you pay him for. You pay him to score goals.
Finishing
And
was
when,
poor.
and when you score only 3 or 4 goals, that is absolutely poor. So Aubameyang, on the other hand, I think we will miss him. His endeavor and his spirit. I would love to see him on the side with Jesus. That'd be a nice side, obviously.
Well, and Ketia hasn't been looking bad in the last season and in preseason, so you know.
But he's
But
not Aubameyang, so I know
sure.
he's not looking bad. But I'll wait to see. The jury is still out on him and Jesus to see if Jesus can indeed step forward, because we have seen in the past that the Arsenal fans, and I don't mean you obviously, but as Arsenal fans, we have seen in the past Arsenal have bought Pepe for a lot of money, much more money than we pay for Jesus, record fee, and where is he now on the bench? We can't even sell him. Right? And when he go and play in the African nations, he don't light them up either. He just look lazy, slow, and he collecting a big salary. So I am hopeful, not optimistic, hopeful.
True. You know, before we jump into expectations, I wanna talk a little bit about we wanna touch a little fantasy football. I know you all have iSport. Are they still doing their fantasy this
Yes, of course.
right? Well, tell people a little bit about the iSport fantasy because I'm a part of it, and that is
Sure.
very competitive, people. That is some real serious fantasy
Yeah,
football
yeah,
league
yeah,
going
yeah,
on
yeah.
there.
Yeah, it is. It's the iSports Fantasy League. I'll send you the link after because obviously I myself can't remember the code off the top of my head, obviously. But if you just put in iSports Fantasy Premier League, you will find it. Obviously, it's held on the 12th month, which is held every Wednesday. The 12th month restarts Wednesday coming, obviously, and that will be the first episode of the 12th month. And there's a lot of expectation that it could be very interesting to see how things develop, how all the teams play, and we'll see indeed if they can adapt and certainly find their way. But the iSports Fantasy Premier League, as you're right, the person who would have won last year, I think not I think, I know, actually came second overall in Trinidad and Tobago. There was one other person that was above him by about 5 or 6 points, the case may be. So it's really a very competitive league. If you come into that league, you have to prepare to come low like myself. I come down in the bottom because these guys, Chad, them I feel they check it every day. They know if
Of
it's only
course.
had 2 matches, if you could play this. It's like, for instance, I will tell you honestly, last season I forget my triple captain until the end. I forget these things because I'm not considering it as much, obviously. So I lose, even to use your bench boost. All I forget these things, honestly. But these guys take it really serious. I take it in a small group I take it a little bit competitive, right? We have some horse racing friends in our group, about 6 to 10 of us, and we have our own little, because we all know we're not taking it that seriously. So we have your own little peacock. You might try to win a week or try to do good a week, as the case may be. But that's how it is. But I think it has caught on tremendously. My one query, and I know this is not a show about that, would be there are a lot of persons now concerned, Chad, about where they will watch the English Premier League, and that's really, I think, where the problem is right now.
I think that's the biggest challenge for all of us,
Yeah.
because this situation with the networks, cable networks, and who have the rights and who lose the rights and the ability for everybody to get it. But by some hook or by some crook, we had to watch the football,
Yeah, yeah,
without
yeah.
a
I mean,
doubt,
and,
we're
and
gonna watch it.
I mean, there are many ways to watch the football. Some of them, not necessarily the way that we would like to, but I'm sure people will find ways, as the case may be, as a lot of us are doing right now.
And we do have a choice. I mean, you have a program on Wednesdays, the 12th
Yes.
man.
Yeah.
We need to be able to talk about it. The
Of
United
course.
Hour, we
Yeah.
have programs. We launch in a Premier League rewind review
Right.
program on Sunday. So we first to be able to talk football, we had to see football. Right?
Correct. Correct.
That's
Correct.
how it
I
goes.
think I think, Chad, we have been spoiled, and I say the word spoiled carefully, because when I travel to other countries, they don't watch, or they don't get to watch the amount of football that we get to watch it, or we
Well,
or
at
used
least
to
not
get to
for the
watch.
price we pay. A lot of
Yes, at
people,
least not for the price we
even in
pay.
the UK, if you have Sky, there's a total media blackout on the what we would call the 12:30, the late game.
Yes,
They don't
yes,
ever see that game. They just have
right,
to go online or do something else, and that is because I think the first division plays their premier game that time. So to
correct.
focus on the lesser leagues, they don't ever get to see that game. And we get to see all the well, we used to get to
You
see
used to
all
get
the
to see every
games.
game. Correct. We
So
get spoiled for choice.
yeah. So we definitely have to adjust this time around. Um, Looking at the league, we have Haaland inside. We have Conte from the beginning of the season this time around. The Premier League always competitive, always the most competitive league on the planet. Who are your top four, top six
Sure.
finishers this season? Who do you predict will take it this time?
If I go in order, I am seeing Manchester City still winning, but this time around getting a strong challenge from Liverpool. I am surprised. I was surprised that Manchester City actually got rid of Sterling. I didn't think that was a good decision. Haaland, and I don't think that's good enough. I think they're going to struggle. And on the other side, the other team lost Sane, that's Liverpool, and to me, that's a major bro. He was scoring more. He may not have scored as much goals as they like, but he was dangerous, always dangerous. And it's going to be, they got Darwin. That I don't think is going to make a difference, but it still means that these two teams are going to be close. I see Manchester City, Liverpool, and I see Tottenham and Arsenal fighting for third and fourth, and Manchester United coming and with Chelsea right there. But I think the four of them are going to be in the thick of things from third, three, four, five, and six. I don't really see anybody else juxtaposition coming up. West Ham, I feel they're going to drop down a lot lower than they have been before. I think Leicester, totally, they have spent no money at all, and they are selling players. Aston Villa, yes, here and there, but I don't think they're going to challenge. I think the top six remain the top six, and the battle will be for three, four, five, and six between Tottenham, Arsenal, Man United, and of course Chelsea. I think Chelsea have started them late buys recently, but defenders. And even though they have Sterling, they don't have a real out and out striker. They're good. That might work in there against them. I don't think Werner is as good as they say. And Tuchel, in his discussion, seems to be one of those that has lost a little bit of interest in some of the things that are going on with the team.
True. Most people I've spoken to so far have picked Chelsea to fall out of the top four. And I as well, I expect Chelsea to fall out of the top four, but Tuchel is a good coach. Let's see what could happen. I mean, Chelsea seems to be linked to every player under the sun right now. So let's see what could happen between now and the end of the window. In terms of relegation, I mean, for the first time in I think Premier League history, we have all the Champions League winners from England in the Premier League. That being Nottingham Forest, Manchester United, Chelsea, and Liverpool. All right, am I missing anybody?
Yes. No. I mean, from England-based champions, yes.
Right.
Even when it wasn't called the Champions League. Right, I understand what you mean.
Right. So this is the first time you have all the Champions League winners in the league. One of them, Nottingham Forest, recently promoted. Do you think Nottingham Forest stays up?
Yes, I do.
So
I see Leeds United and Burma and Bournemouth. Those are the two main ones I see under pressure, because I think Leeds have done nothing apart from losing. Losing when they lost Rafinha. When they lose Rafinha, and not only you lose, and I mean you lose someone that is tremendously influential, you're going to struggle. You are going to be in trouble. You are going to be in trouble. And I think they've lost Phillips. Is it Phillips as well? They would have lost as well. So I mean, so you that's massive. You're talking about the backbone and the strike force, and you have an American coach. What worse can you want? Yeah. In terms of a third team, you won't believe it, but I was thinking Everton, but I know it won't happen. I know the Evertonians wouldn't agree with it.
I don't know why you would say I wouldn't believe it. That is actually, I keep telling everybody, I feel Frank is going to be fired before the end of the season. Right. And I feel Everton could go down. And for the same reason that as Leeds, you sold Richard Eriksen. I don't consider him the greatest player, but he was one of the better players.
Definitely.
And unless Calvert-Lewin comes back,
and he's injured. I think Calvert-Lewin is injured right now. He can't even start. He's injured.
Right. So who's going to score the goals for Everton?
They must hope they marry Gray. They must be putting a lot of pressure on Gray.
Right. So I haven't seen them do anything in the transfer window that leads me to think this team is going to have a better season than last
season. The only thing I'm going to tell you is that if they start off badly, Frank is gone. Right? They're not going to give Frank long. Frank is going to have a long time.
Or not, I expect Frank to be gone before the end of the season.
Yeah,
Frank is going to last.
So the other team I was looking at, honestly looking at is Fulham. Right, but I mean, I will wait and see. I know they just purchased Leno from Arsenal, but still, he's not the best goalkeeper in the world, as the case may be. So that's what I'm seeing. Nottingham Forest staying up. Honestly, Nottingham Forest staying up.
Yeah, that is the one out of the three I have staying up as well. Yeah. I expect Fulham and Bournemouth to go back down. The question is who's going to join them, and they have three teams. I think will be in contention. Leeds, I agree with you. Everton. And I also think Southampton, they've lost Breuer and they haven't improved. They have had the worst preseason. Them and Everton losing to American teams, they're just getting licks. And they can't score goals. And once they can't score goals in the Premier League, you have problems.
Well, the only saving grace they have is Ward-Prowse, because he can score goals from anywhere. Right?
I keep wondering how come no team has come in for Ward-Prowse. It just makes no sense to me. He's by far the best dead ball specialist in the Premier League.
Correct. I don't, unless you have a long contract. I don't know either. I don't know. He's a player I would love to get. Obviously, I hear what I will do. I will take him at Arsenal and get him Xhaka. They could take Xhaka. They could keep Xhaka. They could take Xhaka. You know, I'll get on a free. On a free.
Yeah,
take him on a free.
Pure swap.
Easy.
I hear that. Well, Andre, thanks very much.
Welcome.
Out to be on Buzz the Net. Remember, people, the 12th man on TV6. You could check Andre out.
8:30 p.m. on Wednesdays. Yeah.
Correct. And we also going to be having the link. We're going to make sure and post that code
I'm going to send you the
for
code. I will send you the code. Definitely.
yeah, for iSports, as well as the United Hour Fantasy team as well.
Correct,
We're going
correct.
to be
Well,
having those
I
links in
I
there.
am in that already too as well. Struggling as usual last. I hoping to do better this year, but I struggled last year. All right. So thanks a lot, Chad. Continue all the great work. Best of luck to you. And as I've said before, in all on the 12th man, the most fans we have had individually, we had a record 266 persons that over a period of time. I'm not talking about double up. In the space of just 2 seasons, we have had 266 persons, individuals, come on at least once. In like your case, more than once, but at least once of the 266 persons, and the majority Manchester United fans. Thanks a lot. Take care and welcome to all for the United Hour. Thank you very much, sir. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.
Enjoy it, man.
Support the United Hour. Click that like button and subscribe.